Welcome back to the channel USA Coins 69, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, uncovering stories, secrets, and values that might surprise you. Today, we're shining the spotlight on one of America's most iconic and beloved coins, the 1-cent Lincoln Wheat penny from 1951. At first glance, it may look like a simple penny from your pocket change, but trust me, this little coin carries a rich history and hidden treasures that can make it worth a staggering $100,000. Yes, you heard that right. Stick with me as we unravel the history, design, rarity, and incredible value of the 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny. Let's start with a bit of background on the Lincoln Wheat penny itself. Introduced in 1909, this coin was the first U.S. penny to feature a real person, President Abraham Lincoln, to commemorate his 100th birthday. The design was groundbreaking at the time and has become a timeless classic. The obverse of the coin features a dignified profile of Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse side showcases two stalks of wheat framing the words, 1 cent and United States of America. This wheat motif gave the coin its popular nickname, the Wheat Penny, and it was used until 1958. Now, 1951 was a period marked by post-war prosperity and growing economic optimism in America. The Lincoln Wheat penny minted in this year was produced at three different mints: the Philadelphia Mint, No Mint Mark, the Denver Mint, D Mint Mark, and the San Francisco Mint, S Mint Mark. Each mint produced millions of pennies, but certain mint marks from this year have become especially sought after by collectors due to their rarity and unique characteristics. What makes the 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny truly fascinating is the variety of mint marks and the subtle differences that can drastically affect its value. For instance, pennies minted in San Francisco often carry an S mint mark, while those from Denver bear a D, and Philadelphia pennies have no mint mark at all. Among these, the 1951 S Wheat penny is particularly rare in high-grade condition, which makes it a prized piece in any serious collection. Let's talk about condition because, in the world of coin collecting, condition is king. Most 1951 pennies you'll find in circulation have experienced decades of wear, scratches, discoloration, and loss of detail from countless hands passing them along. However, coins that have been preserved in uncirculated or mint state condition show sharp details, original luster, and virtually no signs of wear. These coins are incredibly rare and can command very high prices among collectors. In addition to condition, there are some remarkable errors and varieties that can make a 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny stand out. For example, there are known double die errors from this era where certain letters or numbers appear double due to a misalignment during the minting process. These errors are extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors who specialize in minting anomalies. Another fascinating type of error is the famous repunched mint mark, RPM. This occurs when the mint mark was punched into the coin more than once, slightly offset or overlapping. Coins with these kinds of errors are unique and often considered one-of-a-kind treasures. Because of these factors, mint marks, condition, and errors, the 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny can range widely in value. Common pennies in circulated condition might only be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars. But the rarest versions, especially those in mint condition with sought-after mint marks or errors, can fetch astronomical prices. One of the reasons this coin holds such a special place among collectors is its connection to American history. Abraham Lincoln remains one of the most beloved presidents, and his image on this coin has become a symbol of unity and perseverance. Collecting Lincoln Wheat pennies isn't just about value, it's about holding a piece of history in your hands. Now, let's get to the most exciting part, the value. While many 1951 Lincoln Wheat pennies are relatively common and modestly priced, the most exceptional specimens, especially those with rare mint marks and in pristine condition or with notable errors, have been known to sell for an astonishing $100,000. That's right, $100,000 for a single 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny. This incredible value shows just how much rarity, condition, and history can add up in the numismatic world. So, if you happen to find a 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny in your collection, or stumble upon one in circulation that looks unusually sharp, shiny, or has a mint mark you don't recognize, it's definitely worth having it examined by a professional coin grader or numismatist. You might just be holding a hidden treasure. To wrap things up, the 1951 1-cent Lincoln Wheat penny is far more than just an ordinary penny. It's a window into American history, a collector's dream, and potentially one of the most valuable pennies you could ever find, worth an astounding $100,000. Today, we're diving into a true classic, a coin that many of you have probably seen but might not realize the incredible story and value behind it. I'm talking about the United States 1-cent Lincoln Wheat penny from 1950. This seemingly humble penny holds a special place in American numismatics, and by the end of this video, you'll discover why a 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny, especially certain mint marks and conditions, can be worth a jaw-dropping $102,000. Stay with me because this is going to be an eye-opener. Let's rewind a bit and talk about the coin itself. The Lincoln Wheat penny is one of the most beloved and longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. First minted in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it was revolutionary in featuring a real person, America's beloved 16th president, on circulating currency. The coin's obverse shows a dignified profile of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse showcases two stalks of wheat framing the words, 1 cent and United States of America. This wheat design gave the coin its popular nickname, the Wheat Penny, and remained until 1958. The year 1950 falls right in the middle of the wheat penny's production run and reflects a post-World War II America moving toward prosperity. Pennies minted this year were produced at three main mints: Philadelphia, which had no mint mark, Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco, marked with an S. Each mint's pennies carry their own unique stories and values, especially when you factor in rarity, condition, and minting errors. Now, 1950 wasn't just any year for pennies. It's a year where several important factors come into play that make certain 1950 Lincoln Wheat pennies highly sought after by collectors. One key factor is the mint mark. The San Francisco minted pennies, marked with an S, are much rarer in high-grade condition than those from Philadelphia or Denver. Collectors often search specifically for these S mint mark pennies because they are less common, especially in uncirculated condition. Speaking of condition, this is where the coin story really gets interesting. Like any coin that's been around for over 70 years, most 1950 pennies you'll find in circulation show the signs of everyday wear, scratches, fading details, and loss of original luster. However, coins that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning they show no signs of wear and still retain their original shine, are rare. These coins can command prices that far exceed face value. Another fascinating aspect that can dramatically increase the value of a 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny is the presence of minting errors or varieties. For example, double die errors, where parts of the design or lettering appear double due to misalignment during the striking process, are incredibly valuable. These errors are often subtle, but once identified, they become some of the most prized items in any collection. There's also the intriguing repunched mint mark, RPM, error. This occurs when the mint mark is stamped more than once in slightly different positions. Such mistakes happened occasionally in the San Francisco and Denver mints, and these coins are treasured because they are essentially unique, one-of-a-kind anomalies. Another rare and eye-catching error type is the off-center strike, where the coin was struck off the proper axis, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. These error coins are not only rare but also visually fascinating, making them highly desirable for collectors who specialize in error coins. In addition to errors and mint marks, the metal composition of the 1950 wheat penny adds a layer of historical significance. Unlike modern pennies made mostly from zinc with a copper coating, the wheat pennies from this era were made primarily of 95% copper. This composition not only gives them a distinct weight and feel but also adds to their desirability among collectors. So, with all these factors in play, mint marks, condition, error varieties, and historical copper content, how much could a 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny be worth? Well, common circulated pennies usually trade around a few cents or dollars depending on condition. But if you are lucky enough to come across a 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny with a rare S mint mark in pristine uncirculated condition, or one featuring a notable minting error, you could be sitting on a coin worth an astonishing $102,000. Yes, you heard that right. $102,000 for a single 1950 Lincoln wheat penny. This staggering value is a testament to the passion of collectors, the rarity of certain mint marks and errors, and the historical legacy wrapped up in this tiny piece of copper. So, next time you find a handful of pennies, don't overlook the possibility that one of them might be this rare 1950 Lincoln wheat penny. If it looks sharp, has an unusual mint mark, or shows any odd features, make sure to get it professionally graded and evaluated. It might just be worth a small fortune. To sum it all up, the 1950 United States 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny is so much more than just a penny. It's a piece of American history, a collector's treasure, and potentially an extremely valuable coin worth $102,000. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of America's most cherished and iconic coins, the 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny from 1953. While it might look like just another penny from your pocket, this particular coin has a fascinating background, interesting variations, and a value that might just blow your mind. So, buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll learn why a 1953 Lincoln wheat penny can be worth an incredible $94,000. First, let's start by talking about what makes the Lincoln wheat penny such a timeless classic. Introduced in 1909, the Lincoln wheat penny was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, marking a major departure from the traditional designs of the era. Victor David Brenner's classic portrait of Lincoln on the obverse side has been beloved for over a century, symbolizing the values of liberty, perseverance, and unity. The reverse of the coin features two stalks of wheat, framing the denomination and the words, United States of America. This wheat design stayed in use until 1958, earning these pennies their nickname, wheat pennies. Now, let's zoom into the year 1953. The United States was well into the post-war era, a time of economic growth and optimism. The 1953 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during a period when coins were still struck with a high copper content, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving these pennies a rich, warm color and a substantial weight compared to modern pennies. In 1953, pennies were produced at 3 different mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, Denver coins carry a D mint mark, and San Francisco coins bear an S. The mint mark can make a big difference when it comes to rarity and value, especially in high-grade condition. Most 1953 pennies found today are common in circulation and don't command high prices. However, certain versions, especially those from the San Francisco Mint and Denver Mint, are much harder to find in pristine condition. The S mint mark pennies are often the focus of collectors because fewer survived the years unscathed. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting. Most 1953 Lincoln wheat pennies you'll find in circulation will show wear, flattened details, scratches, discoloration, and loss of luster from decades of handling. But the coins that grab the attention of serious collectors are those that have been carefully preserved. An uncirculated 1953 penny with full mint luster and sharp details is incredibly rare and highly sought after. Beyond just mint marks and condition, the world of errors and varieties adds another thrilling dimension to the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny story. Some pennies from this year show double dies, where the design elements, such as the date, letters, or even Lincoln's features, appear doubled due to an error during the minting process. These double die coins are extremely rare and can fetch premium prices. There are also repunched mint mark, RPM, errors, where the mint mark appears stamped more than once, slightly overlapping. These errors happened occasionally in both Denver and San Francisco mints and are prized by collectors as unique curiosities. And then, there are other less common errors such as off-center strikes or planchet flaws, which make certain 1953 pennies one of a kind. These error coins combine rarity, uniqueness, and visual appeal to capture the imagination of numismatists and investors alike. Let's not forget the historical context embedded in every one of these pennies. The Lincoln wheat penny design captures an era of American history that reflects values of perseverance and unity during and after difficult times. Holding a 1953 Lincoln wheat penny in your hand is like holding a small piece of the American story. Now, you might be wondering, what does all this mean in terms of actual value? Common circulated 1953 pennies can be worth mere cents or a few dollars depending on condition. But rare mint marks combined with pristine, uncirculated condition or notable minting errors can cause the price to skyrocket. In fact, the very best examples of the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny, especially those with the rarest mint marks and errors, have been known to sell for an extraordinary $94,000. Yes, $94,000 for a single 1953 Lincoln wheat penny. This remarkable price reflects the perfect storm of rarity, historical significance, condition, and collector demand. If you ever stumble upon a 1953 Lincoln wheat penny that looks sharp, shiny, or displays a mint mark you don't recognize, it's definitely worth having a professional coin grader examine it. You might just be holding a coin that's worth far more than its humble face value. To sum up, the 1953 United States 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny is far more than just a penny. It's a treasure trove of history, a collector's gem, and potentially a coin worth an astonishing $94,000. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating journey into the world of American numismatics as we explore one of the most iconic and historically significant coins ever minted, the United States 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny from 1941. At first glance, it might look like just an ordinary penny, but the truth is, this coin carries with it layers of history, unique characteristics, and, believe it or not, an incredible value that can reach up to $134,000 under the right circumstances. So, grab a seat and let's dig deep into what makes the 1941 Lincoln wheat penny such a treasure. Let's begin by painting the broader picture of the Lincoln wheat penny itself. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, this penny was revolutionary. For the first time in U.S. coinage history, a real person's portrait adorned the front of a circulating coin. Victor David Brenner's artistic rendition of Lincoln became an enduring symbol of American values, integrity, perseverance, and leadership during trying times. The reverse of the coin features two wheat stalks framing the denomination and country's name, a design that would stay in place until 1958, earning it the beloved nickname, Wheat Penny. Now, focusing on 1941, this was a significant year for America. It was the year before the U.S. entered World War II following the attack on Pearl Harbor. The country was still in the throes of recovering from the Great Depression, with economic challenges and social change shaping everyday life. Coins minted during this period were a part of everyday commerce, passing through countless hands, making it all the more remarkable when one survives in near-perfect condition today. In 1941, pennies were produced at three main mints: Philadelphia, which carries no mint mark, Denver, with a D mint mark, and San Francisco, marked with an S. The mint mark is one of the key details collectors focus on because it influences rarity and ultimately value. The S mint mark pennies, minted in San Francisco, are particularly sought after when found in exceptional condition due to their lower mintage and circulation survival rates. Most 1941 Lincoln wheat pennies you'll find in loose change or old collections show signs of wear, such as smoothing of Lincoln's features, scratches, or faded details. But coins that have been preserved with their original mint luster, sharp details, and no signs of circulation are gems, especially from this era. One of the most exciting aspects for collectors hunting 1941 pennies is the discovery of minting errors and varieties. Double die errors, where certain parts of the coin's design or lettering appear doubled due to misalignment during the striking process, are among the most prized. Such coins are incredibly rare and can fetch premium prices, as they represent fascinating anomalies in the minting process. Another sought-after variety is the repunched mint mark, especially in Denver and San Francisco issues. Here, the mint mark appears stamped more than once, sometimes overlapping or slightly shifted. These coins catch collectors' eyes because each is uniquely distinct, a small minting mistake that adds character and value. Additionally, off-center strikes and other unusual minting defects create captivating coins that stand out from regular issues. These types of errors often result in visually dramatic coins, which appeal to collectors looking for rare and unusual pieces. The composition of the 1941 wheat penny also adds to its allure. Made primarily of 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc, these pennies have a distinct heft and color compared to modern pennies, which mostly contain zinc. This copper content, combined with the coin's age and rarity in uncirculated condition, makes it a highly collectible item. So, when it comes to value, what can you expect? Circulated 1941 Lincoln wheat pennies are generally worth just a few cents to a couple of dollars, depending on their condition. However, when you come across an uncirculated coin from 1941, especially with a rare mint mark like S or D, or one exhibiting notable minting errors or varieties, the value jumps dramatically. In fact, top-grade 1941 Lincoln wheat pennies, particularly those with rare mint marks and exceptional preservation, have been known to sell for as much as $134,000. Imagine that, a small, copper coin you might find in your grandfather's old collection or at a coin shop could be worth a staggering $134,000. This incredible figure highlights the magic of coin collecting, the combination of history, rarity, artistry, and the thrill of the hunt. If you ever come across a 1941 Lincoln wheat penny that looks unusually sharp, carries a mint mark you recognize, or shows any signs of doubling or other errors, it's well worth getting it evaluated by a professional coin grading service. They can authenticate its condition and rarity, potentially unlocking its true value. To sum up, the 1941 United States 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny is much more than a penny. It is a tangible link to America's past, a symbol of resilience during a pivotal moment in history, and a collector's dream with the potential to be worth $134,000. Today, we're shining the spotlight on a true classic, the United States 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny from the year 1937. This little copper coin, which might seem ordinary at first glance, actually holds a remarkable place in numismatic history and could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll discover why this 1937 Lincoln wheat penny can be valued at an astonishing $194,700. Let's start by taking a look at the bigger picture and understanding why the Lincoln wheat penny series is so beloved. First introduced in 1909, the Lincoln wheat penny broke the mold by being the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, President Abraham Lincoln. The obverse, or front, bears Victor David Brenner's iconic profile of Lincoln, symbolizing unity, strength, and freedom. The reverse side, with its two stalks of wheat framing the words, 1 cent, and United States of America, reflects America's agrarian roots and the hard-working spirit of the nation. This design was used until 1958, making the wheat penny a staple in American coinage for nearly half a century. Now, focusing on the year 1937, this penny was minted during a time of recovery and transition. The United States was gradually coming out of the Great Depression, and the nation was preparing for the changes and challenges that lay ahead. Pennies from this era were widely used in everyday commerce, passed from hand to hand, and often saw a lot of wear and tear. Finding a 1937 wheat penny in mint or near mint condition today is quite rare and highly prized. In 1937, pennies were produced at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, which produced coins with no mint mark; Denver, which stamped coins with a D mint mark; and San Francisco, marked with an S. The presence of a mint mark can significantly affect the rarity and value of the coin. For example, the 1937 S mint mark pennies tend to be more scarce and desirable in high-grade conditions. What makes the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny especially fascinating to collectors are the varieties and minting errors that exist within this year. One of the most famous among these is the 1937 double die obverse. This variety shows a clear doubling of the date and the inscriptions on the front of the coin, a striking and visually captivating error caused by a misalignment during the die preparation process. Coins exhibiting this doubling are incredibly rare and highly sought after by numismatists. In addition to the double die error, there are other minor varieties, such as repunched mint marks and small die cracks, that add another layer of interest for collectors. These minting anomalies often make the coin more valuable, especially when found in excellent condition. When it comes to condition, uncirculated or mint state 1937 wheat pennies command the highest prices. Most pennies you come across will have significant wear from decades of circulation. However, coins that have retained their original luster, sharp details, and no signs of damage or corrosion are true treasures. The 1937 pennies that have been preserved this well are relatively scarce, making them a prime target for collectors and investors alike. The metal composition also plays a role in the appeal of these pennies. Made primarily of 95% copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, these coins have a nice weight and warm reddish hue that coin enthusiasts appreciate. Compared to modern pennies, which are mostly zinc-coated, the wheat penny's copper content makes it more attractive both historically and materially. So, what does all this translate to in terms of real-world value? Circulated 1937 Lincoln wheat pennies generally sell for a few cents to a few dollars depending on their condition. But when you uncover a pristine, uncirculated coin, especially one with a rare mint mark like the S, or featuring the coveted double-die obverse variety, the value skyrockets. In fact, some of the finest examples of the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny have been known to fetch prices as high as $194,700. Yes, you heard that right. $194,700 for a single 1937 Lincoln wheat penny. This staggering amount reflects the perfect combination of rarity, exceptional condition, historical significance, and collector demand. Imagine coming across such a coin in an old jar, a forgotten collection, or even loose change. What a thrilling find that would be. To sum it all up, the 1937 United States 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny is more than just pocket change. It is a piece of American heritage, a symbol of resilience during challenging times, and a coveted treasure in the numismatic world. With its iconic design, historical context, and rare varieties, this penny is a shining example of how even the smallest coins can hold immense value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny and want to learn more about other rare coins, tips on collecting, and the fascinating stories behind numismatic treasures, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Have you ever found a rare penny or a coin that surprised you with its value? Share your experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep exploring, keep collecting, and happy hunting for those hidden gems.